Welcome back to another Formula 2 special here in Budapest at the Hungary Ring. We have just finished practice. The less we talk about, the better. You see here, we're not... Hajar did well. Good for our teammate. Let's highlight that. 4th fastest coming out of practice. We're down here in 21st. Not because we weren't fast, because we were too fast. I had umpteen issue not spinning on some of these tracks, trying to release out of corners too fast. Losing control, spinning, tyres were then gone. Not good. Not good at all. First start practice was fine. Track was good. As soon as I started getting comfortable, it all fell apart. So looking forward to this one-shot qualifying where if it all goes wrong, God knows where we'll be. As we sit 5th in the rankings overall, 67 points. Trying to catch Vesti to get into the top. Obviously, Martin's Porsche and the Rivala, we are hunting down to try and make sure that we are the one that gets picked when the Formula 1 teams come knocking. So, Budapest, weather looks fine. One-shot qualifying after I've struggled to keep all 4 wheels on the track for a single lap. So, this should go well. 71 rated driver at the moment. More progress made, which is good. Sunny Hungary. Okay, one-shot quality, then into a 13-lap feature race. Can we get ourselves better than 9th? Or, looking at practice, can we get ourselves better from dead last here in Hungary? Can we get another top 10 so we can get some more points on the board in a race that isn't absolutely peeing it down like it was at Silverstone? Okay, on the softs. Does look like it's going to be a soft and medium race then. No super softs here. Track temperature 35 degrees. Weather is looking good. Let's get out. Tentative as hell. I wouldn't be surprised if that was stone last. Oh! The wiggle on that second or third corner really did me dirty. After 2 such good races.
With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Wow. What a bump back down to earth. Qualifying, our pace was well off. 2.9 seconds. Are you kidding me? We were the slowest by far there. That makes no sense going race to race. We weren't that wiggly. Okay, well, we know what we need to do from the back. Hajar, 18th after qualifying so well. I mean, we're still a way off Hajar there. 2.5 seconds. That is ridiculous. Not good qualifying, but we know that we can make places up. We know we've got some... there's some long sweeping corners here and some areas to take it faster than we necessarily should. So I'm hoping there's enough space to make some nice overtakes here. Getting into the top 10, though, might be a stretch too far. Okay, 13 laps. Hungary Ring.
Welcome to the Hungary Ring here in Hungary, just a short distance from Budapest. This is a circuit with a lot of history in motorsport. Which of our F2 drivers here today, I wonder, will add to that legacy? The Hungary is located 12 miles northeast of the capital, Budapest. It's 2.7 miles long, featuring 14 corners, and it's got a reputation for making overtaking difficult. Nevertheless, there's a history of some truly exceptional races here. Let's hope our Formula 2 drivers can serve up some more of that today. And here are the driver grid positions for today's race. Teo Porcher will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from him. And it's Jan de Ruvela in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hauger, Martins, Ayumu Awasa, Novalak, Leclerc, Doohan, Miney, Brad Benavides, Correa, for sure, Frederick Vesti, Ollie Behrman, Maloney, Fittipaldi, Stanek, Isaac Hadjar, Boschong, Cordial, Nissani, and Herbert. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So far behind.
It is the Formula 2 race. It is time to introduce you to Alex Brundle. I'm Alex Jakes, and we've got changeable weather out there today. That's making for some nervous team personnel down in the paddock, down in the pit lane.
Well, uncertainty is what strategy's all about, but it absolves the teams from the responsibility of running both compounds of tyre. They might have to use that wet tyre, of course, and then the question is, where do those crossovers lie between the wet and dry conditions?
With some luck, we might just be able to work our way up the field, but we need a good start. Keep it clean, okay?
Ah, yes. Keeping it clean. My number one skill as a driver. One stopper. 13 laps. Softs onto mediums. Here we are, the Hungarian Grand Prix in this F2 season, as we are lights out. And away we go here in Budapest, as we are seeing Herbert come from the very back of the grid, somewhere that we haven't seen him for a while after the good races, the good performances before, as he clearly, wow, in a race of his own here, Herbert shoots out wide from the first corner from the back to 19th, although is alongside his teammate Hadjar and Boschong here as he dives into that first corner. Can he get in front? He does, in front of Hadjar. By the third corner here, Herbert up to 18th inside lap 1. This driver has tasted victory and clearly does not want to to stay at the back any longer, as he's up to 17th now. Stanek passed easily inside this first lap from 22nd to 17th here, with Porcher still leading in front of Darivala, Martins and Hauger up in the front of the pack as Herbert goes side by side with Maloney. A nice pass there round the outside of Maloney. Some serious pace here in this early lap from Herbert. Surprising that his qualifying one shot went so badly, putting him at the back of the grid. If within one lap he can make up so many places. Nice view here. We see the cars coming down. Bit of a gap to Ollie Behrman, the British driver, versus the British driver here in lap 1 in Budapest. A good first lap from Herbert here. Needed to get out and attack early if he is to get into the points, which we can only assume is the target from here on out to the end of the season. 1 second gap to break to get DRS, and Behrman is the next target. You can see behind him Maloney, Fittipaldi, Stanek, Hadjar, all in a DRS train behind Herbert here, then being the first break of this pack. As Herbert is now inside DRS, half a second to Ollie Behrman. The entire F2 pack here in one giant DRS train. Not a second between any of the cars. Oh, Herbert's just dropped back behind a second now. He's letting me down in my commentary. But not a second between any other car here. So once Herbert brings this pack up to meet Behrman and the rest, we will have one entire DRS train, as is to be expected in the F2 here. The differences between the cars, only the driver's abilities. And a nice lick of paint here and there. As we come down, we see again that lovely top-down view as Herbert is still struggling to stay. He dances within, and then Behrman with the DRS is pulling away that 1 second barrier, proving difficult for Herbert to break here. Early, taking advantage, I suppose, of the early traffic and that early pace we had seen, not translating when he does not have DRS and is riding on his own. Struggling to catch up with Ollie Behrman here as he brings his tail along with him. Maloney still that 3/10 of a second behind, not making any moves to try and take that pack leader from Herbert, letting him to eat up the fresh air in front. As we watch now, great view here. We got here at the Budapest track, watching these F2 cars as they come round into the chicane. Looks like we still have, we're inside and been with inside that second for over a lap now. Herbert seems to have broken that DRS, 7/10 of a second on early Bearman, which means no more pulling away under DRS for Bearman. Can Herbert catch up in the coming laps to try and make his way up into those this points places? 10th position will be the aim. In front of him, the teammates Vesti, Bearman, and then Verschoor and Korea as well in the VAR team before Benavides. The man sat in 10th. DRS open on the straight. The full train is complete as Awasa takes Hauger up near the front of the pack. Awasa up to 4th position behind Martins and Darahulu, the guys that are leading out in this championship. A pack that Herbert would love to be part of. 3/10 of a second. We go through the chicane now. Herbert on the tail of Ollie Bearman, up within the gap that he has to Vesti now as the train is complete. 4 laps of this 13-lap race complete, and Herbert is back in attack mode. You see him running wide there as he comes out the straight, as he's pushing this car to its limits, trying to get any little bit, as we see a bit of lock-up smoke there from Ollie Bearman, seeing his fellow British driver in his rearview mirror, very close in his rearview mirror as they go around the corner there. Is Herbert going to make moves any time soon? As he goes, looks round the outside. The door was not open though, as DRS is now open. Takes another look on Bearman. Bearman must be feeling that presence of Herbert right behind now as he looks for the move on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Late braking from Herbert. An easy move. A very easy move. Oh, he's lost a bit of front wing there, Herbert. There must have been some contact somewhere, as you can see that side skirt of the front wing, that front left. A familiar break in the front wing for Herbert. Seems to be his favourite area of losing, but if he isn't coming in for damage, we'll be trying to see out the rest of this race with front wing damage. Bearman taken. Vesti is next on the list, and Herbert does not seem to be holding up here. Like we say, that 10th place, those points are what are required to push him up the leagues, push him up the standings, and get his name in front of some of these F1 teams for next year's season. Goes slightly wide, that downforce slightly suffering, but Bearman right behind Herbert here, looking to make a move where he can. Will he be pulling off a similar late braking maneuver that Herbert pulled off before? So Herbert goes close again, right up behind Vesti. Yellow flags are out. Someone is dropping out of the session. We've had a DNF from Martins. That's massive. As we just see there in the back of the screen, the pink and blue Alpine livery of Martins, who is going to be missing those points. Daravala up to second, Iwas a third. That is huge. As we see Herbert dive down the inside. That looks like contact again. Contact with Korea there as he takes both positions, Vesti and Korea, in one move. The front wing is as damaged as it was before.
We didn't quite meet our targets there, but don't worry about it. Get your head down and chin up, and let's focus on the rest of this race.
As we're getting some radio interference here from the Herbert team, as it looks like he was trying to hold on to that wing damage. We can see that is a further damaged front wing now. You can see the back part of the wing gone. The team letting Herbert know that that is not going to sway, that's not going to last. Will he pit in halfway through this race for a new wing, or is he going to hold on as he stands now? You can see the damage to the front wing, but just one position away from the points. Will Herbert try and manage this damage through to the end of the race? It was a big move to take Korea and Vesti in one move, but came at the cost of Parley's front wing. As we're seeing the teams come in for a pit now. Herbert coming in early for the pit, first for the pit, as we are going to see whether the undercut or overcut is more effective here by the teams. Can he get out and have a good stop? But it's been an area of work required by this F2 team as they lost certain amount of time. Will a new nose wing be going on as well as they pull in? It doesn't look like it. It just looks like the mediums are going on. No new nose, and Herbert's been released out. Fairly quick stop there from Herbert. Let's see where they come out. Of course, we're going to have this one lap. Teams are pulling right out in front there. Is that for sure pulling out straight in front? that wing. You can still see the wing compared to the wings in front and behind. The damage that Herbert's carrying here on that front left side of his wing. So, fresh, medium tyres. 1 lap to catch up to the rest of the pack. Will Herbert be in front or behind? Will the undercut of these cars help? Will he get the tyres up to temp and be able to maybe take for sure or Marnie in front before the rest of this team pull out? With Marnie, remember Herbert coming from 11th position, so anything they can do to take a place or two will get him into the points contention. Nice overhead shot here of the chicane, as well as we can see the gap with Herbert behind for sure here as we are pulling around the tee. This is being led by Hauger, it looks like. Yeah, cannot see the Alpine of Duhan there. So, Hauger leading this pack. There's Duhan coming around the corner first, led by the next pack. Herbert in tow behind for sure as we are coming round to the main straight and joining the rest of the pack who are pitting. So, where will these cars join? Will we see Herbert gain or lose with the undercut on the rest of the pack? Lap 8, as you can see, all the cars merging now as Herbert is up in 11th. First corner round, he goes close again. For sure, the man he was behind, he is taken into 10th position as we start lap 8 for Herbert. Into the points reckoning from the back of the grid. Martin's the only DNF here in today's race. Can Herbert push any further to gain any more points here? Still carrying all of that damage to the front left wing. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down in any way, and the undercut working perfectly for the team here. Hajar, his teammate, down in 17th place. Losing out due to that priority making of the team as Herbert looked down the inside there before the chicane. He has gone down the inside. He's gone down the inside of Hauger. Oh, he's made the move in the chicane on Hauger. Cut across that favoured left side. Can't get any more damage, can it? Herbert pushing. Now, how much more can that front left wing take as they dive again around the corner, building a gap to Hauger straight away. 1.5 seconds to Marnie, up to 9th position. 8 laps gone here in Budapest. Okay, gap now builded. Herbert sitting out in no man's land. 1.2 seconds behind is Hauger. 2 seconds in front is Marnie. As you can see, the pack behind vying for position for sure. They're taking the lead from Hauger. But yeah, we've seen Herbert now sitting ahead of his pack, but behind Marnie and those in 8th place. 9 laps into this race with that damaged wing and these medium tyres. Will Herbert be able to make any difference here, or is this is where he's going to sit for the rest of the race? Porsche is still out in the lead. Darvala 3/10 behind in second, and of course Martin's DNFing another one in that front pack, looking for the points in this F2 championship season. You can see him running wide still. The grip, or the downforce, sorry, not quite there with that wing, but time is not really being gained or lost. 2 seconds to Marnie, 1 second behind to for sure. DRS broken in front and behind. As we see Herbert flying, trying to do whatever he can in this slightly damaged car as we come into lap 10 of this 13-lap race here in Budapest. You can see the cars behind with their DRS trains for sure, using the DRS to overtake Hauger and bring himself within half a second of Herbert. Herbert might find that he is having to defend from behind more than in front as this front wing damage and the tyre wear starting to show. Herbert's speed starting to drop off here. A 9th place from the back of the grid would be an excellent finish for this young driver, but with 3 laps to go and a Hungary pack behind, will some of them be taking these places back? Points required for sure. Hauger, Vesti, all will be looking for these points if they can get in front of Herbert, as he's the very aggressive driver is having to switch to a defense mode rather than his usual attack. As we go across the line, look at this, 0.3 of a second for sure behind with the DRS. As he looks to make the move on the inside of Herbert, he's going to have to defend. He's giving him the space. Late braking though, Herbert stays in front into the first corner, into the DRS checkpoint. As DRS is flicked straight back on again, and Vashur is going to come at him again. Lap 11 here. Herbert, 1.9 seconds to Marnie in front. But more worrying is the Hungary pack for sure. Hauger, Vesti, Korea, Maloney, Behrman, if we remember all the way back at the beginning, Fittipaldi and his teammate Hajar, all behind, all within DRS trains of each other, all looking to take these points places away. 2.3 seconds to Marnie. Herbert is losing speed as he is in full defense mode here. 2 laps to go. For sure is hunting down those positions taken from him after that pit lap, after the rejoinings, after the pit changes, when Herbert made the move and took the position. As we see, there he goes. For sure pops it out again. A super late break from Herbert. Leaves a bit of a gap for Vershaw there as he pulls in behind to get the DRS and the slipstream behind Herbert there on the second DRS straight. Herbert does enough again with a bit of late braking to hold off the attack of Vershaw. 12 laps into this 13-lap race. Through the chicane then. Can he hold off any attack on this back half of the course? Get any time here? Seems to build up time, surprisingly, with that front wing, that downforce, lack of downforce from the front wing. Builds up a fair gap coming down that middle section before we get the 2 fast corners at the end to finish the race. And of course, those then DRS zones. Herbert trying to build whatever gap he can to the for sure to hold on to 9th place here in Hungary. Here he comes. DRS is open. Vershaw is hunting. Herbert moves over to block the inside, moves back to block the outside. No move made from Vershaw this time. Doesn't have the ability to pick a side and give it the full beans, the full send required. Something that Herbert's become quite accustomed to, as we've seen even in this race, taking 2 or 3 positions with a full send down the inside at the cost of part of his front wing. As we are into the final lap here, can Herbert make it round from 22nd on the grid, the very last position, up to 9th, helped by a quick pit stop and an undercut? But points on the board will be an amazing result here after what were some very good races in the previous 2 sections. But it all comes down to these last few corners. Vershaw will be looking to up his position. Hauger will be looking to get into those point placements. Who is going to come out with some points here in Hungary? Gap is 0.3 of a second. 3.2 seconds is Marnie away from Herbert. As we see him come around the last corner, he's not going to have enough time to get out in front and across the line. Herbert, 22nd to 9th. Good points placement for this young driver, but could it have been more had there been less damage? Oh, as the cars coming to blows right at the end here. But really lost pace once we changed over
What
the
a
tyres.
superb performance from Jan Daruvula, who takes the win.
When you're in a title fight, you've got to drive so calmly, and that's exactly what they've done, driving without pressure.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be MP Motorsport picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. And after all that excitement, I think it's time for a lie down. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
Nice. So 2 points from the 9th place finish, but Iwasaki getting some point, getting 3rd place, getting on the podium after Martins was kicked out. I think it's going to have quite a big movement on the standings. Oh, he doesn't. He does stay in 4th, 77 up to 69 points. Giggity. It's almost, some might say, I planned it. 1 point behind Vesti, 9 points ahead of Hauger as we look to break into the top 5. Iwasaki getting that 3rd with Martins not there. They are the drivers to beat. Daravala, Porsche, Martins, Iwasa. Vesti, I don't think has scored points for a while, so we've just been chunking away at his difference. But yeah, we've got some races to go in what I think this is 10 of 14 to try and push ourselves as high up that leaderboard as possible. It's going to be a big one. So we will see you back next time for the next Formula 2 race. I think it's 4 races left to go. Woohoo!